Hey, 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 y'all. It's Kiki here with the Cancelled Clique, and welcome back to another great episode. If you missed last week's episode, what are you doing with your life? Go check it out. Go get caught up. Today, we are diving into some hot topics, starting with Kanye West and his wife at the 2025 Grammys. If you were living under a rock and you missed it, let me refresh your memory. She showed up naked. Now, I know this is Kanye West we're talking about, and honestly, we shouldn't be surprised. But wow, some people are out here saying it's a bold and empowering statement about body positivity. Like, yes, queen, slay. But then there's the other half that are rolling their eyes thinking that this is just another attention grab. Honestly, I lean towards the latter. Your body is a temple and only you and your husband need to see it. But hey, I want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you team empowerment or are you team, please put your clothes back on? Let's get this conversation going. Welcome back to the Cancelled Clique. Hello, team. Welcome, you guys. Like I said, welcome to the Cancelled Clique episode 2. We are so excited to be here. Before we get started, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all the things. You know how it goes. And we are going to get into the Kanye West fiasco. So let's just jump right in. I'm curious as to what the panel think. Are you team put your clothes on or team go, girl, go, slay, slay, slay? What are we feeling?
Yo, I'm team go put your clothes back on. For real. Like, I understand, like you must have paid a lot of money for that body and you're trying to show it off or what have you, but it's just disrespectful. Like, and for Kanye to just be like, yeah, I'm proud of my wife for walking around butt naked in front of all these people. Like, what are you showing? You know what I mean? It's not becoming, and there's all sorts of scandalous dresses and, even guys wearing like crazy stuff and dresses at the Grammys. But to come out there just butt naked for attention, that's a cry for help. And, it just shows me, like, I hate to say it, but I want that old Kanye back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the backpack Kanye? Where's the Kanye conscious rap? Where's the Kanye trying to hang out with Talib Kweli to get girls to talk to him? You know what I mean?
Yep. So we literally already have a comment that's saying, why didn't Kanye West show up the exact same way as her? Why isn't only her showed up butt naked?
So yeah, I know, it's crazy. And the thing is, it's like, I love Kanye. Like, I've been a fan of Kanye since Slum Village. Okay. So that's like how far back I go with Kanye. I loved him. College Dropout was one of my favorite albums of all time. So to see him progress in this way is very like devastating to me, because he's someone that, like, I used to idol, someone that I've sampled in my songs. I'm an artist. And so to see him like bring his wife out naked, nips out, cooch out, it was just like the debauchery. And it was so sad, because that's not the Kanye that I know. The Kanye that I know is the Kanye that is telling his ex-wife, Kim, like, hey, I don't like that you're wearing such a tight dress where you look naked. It makes me feel uncomfortable because you're the mother of my children. Like, that is the Kanye that I know, and it's sad.
Hey Lala, I love that you brought that up. Darius, can you drop that video, because that people might never
just like
saw
the
that
other girl showing her body off, showing this, showing that, and I didn't realize that was affecting like my soul and my spirit as someone that's married and loved and the father of like now with about to be 4 kids. Of course, it's like a formal underwear. It's hot. It's like it's hot for who though?
So like the night before the Met, you're gonna come in here and say that you're not into a corset bag. Give me really bad anxiety. What are you talking about?
Why is that giving you anxiety to say that?
Because you knew last night I was having really bad anxiety, and I don't need any more negative energy for you to now say that you're not into me wearing a tight dress.
You are my wife, and it affects me when pictures are too sexy. My wife.
So let's
How long ago was that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I never followed that show, but
That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
That was like a couple, like right before they got divorced. I know.
How things like he changed like that.
I know. And it's so sad.
It really is.
What do you think happened to him? What do you think made him just change?
He obviously doesn't. Go ahead, Price.
I think that we live in an attention-based economy, and I think that he knows how to market himself, and he knows that attention pays. If you get attention, that's where the money flows, where attention goes. He's the one to attention.
But
And
I
he
don't
gonna do
know.
any- huh?
I don't know, because it was an attention-based society 4 years ago. Like, there's nothing that's changed from 4 years from now, right?
Yeah, you gotta come up with something new every time. You gotta reinvent yourself. What's better than what he did? Now, me personally, if I was in his situation, I would have came dressed like her. But yeah, I think he should have did that.
You know, I heard this crazy take from this lady on Instagram. It was like a reel. And the lady was like, oh, I saw a take on this that said that the reason why Kanye did this was because it was Black History Month. And he wanted to signify like how, you know, he has this woman, Bianca, his wife, like stripped down, completely nude. And that's how they used to have Black people like at auction. So he's trying to signify that, look, I could do the same thing. You guys are outraged with this white woman with nips, but you weren't outraged with the Black people with auctions. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like if that's what it was, it didn't catch, because I feel like we live in like a post-race society to where like nobody really, it didn't resonate with people because people aren't really even thinking about that anymore, you know?
No.
I think he missed Kim. I think he just misses Kim, and he's going to treat whatever her name is, Bianca, like trash. He gonna exploit the hell out of her.
Just a publicity stunt. He has something coming up, like an album or something he's trying to promote, and he just wants as much publicity as possible. He doesn't care if it's negative or positive. He just wants the publicity and the spotlight.
He got a new album called Bully coming out soon. It's a new album called Bully that's coming out very soon. And to be honest with you, my concern is for his daughter. You know, his little daughter, Northwest, is always with him. She's seeing this type of stuff. And, you know, I'm wondering what effect it's going to have on her. I wonder how he feels about that, right?
Right.
But that image is going out there. So that's what's being shown to all of the youth. You know, I got to tell you, I was at a club, you know, don't know how or why, you know, my nephew's birthday, let's just say, right? So I'm in the club and I see a young lady wearing something that, like, in my day, it was like, and look, I say in my day, wow. So, you know, you would wear, it would be like maybe revealing or something like that. But this young lady, literally, her outfit had her breasts out, like revealed.
It was, yeah.
Her outfit. If that's where this whole thing in pop culture is going, people gotta save the baby, because that is wild.
You can't even tell a hoe from a hoe nowadays, because everybody dressed the same. Back in the day, a woman that used to dress like that, you knew you was getting a quick blowjob. Now it's my body, my power, or whatever the hell they say. I don't know.
But
you can't tell a whole housewife.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like the Grammys in general have just descended into just complete debauchery. I mean, there was no part of the Grammys that I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome and resonated with me or like the rest of what America believes. You know, you have Beyonce, who got the best country album of the year, and it's like it wasn't even a country album. She had like 2 country songs on there, maybe 3. You know, and we know from Rodney Jones, the person who put that lawsuit against or filed a lawsuit against Diddy, what it takes to get a Grammy. So like, does that Grammy even count? You know what I mean? Like we are
DEI.
Right.
You know what?
Right.
You know what? Let's be fair to the Beehive. You know what? Let's show that video of Beyonce getting the award first. You know, let's see
award
how.
goes to
You know, let's be fair.
Cowboy Girl. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Don't forget to thank Beyonce.
Another one.
Wow, I already know what you're gonna say. It's suspicious.
You think?
Help! This album, it sucked. So thank you so much for this Oscar.
It's hilarious because Beyonce always has these, you know, maybe she's bright, but she always has these looks on her face like she doesn't know what's going on. And then that album was just, let's be real, that album was trash. That wasn't country. K. Michelle gets. You guys want to go there? Let's go there. Let's go with. Do you guys really think she's the granddaughter of that famous witch lady from New Orleans? You guys heard that one before?
What's her name again?
Marie Laveau.
Marie Laveau.
Oh, Marina Armovich, whatever her name is.
Tell me what it is. I haven't heard of this.
So Beyonce's supposed. Go ahead, Kiki. I know Kiki. Lala, you know this.
Well, okay. So for those of you who don't know, I am half Haitian. So my mother was raised as a Catholic, but she still grew up around the culture of Haiti and voodoo. So even though she's not like into voodoo at all, like I was raised as a Christian, I've never been exposed to that stuff, but I'm aware of kind of the culture. So I'm kind of speaking from like a position of like I know kind of what it is. And I do believe that Beyonce is a witch. Do I believe that she is the great granddaughter of Maria Laveau? I'm not sure. I know that Tina Knowles is from Louisiana. And I know that Beyonce has a house in New Orleans. She has roots in New Orleans. I think it burnt down like a couple years ago, but I know that she has roots in New Orleans. I'm not sure about the Maria Laveau connection, but I know for sure that Beyonce is a very high level high priestess, that she's into some like hardcore Solomonic sorcery. And you can tell from the work that she puts out, like her music videos, like if you're well read into that, like a cult, you can pick up different things. Like she is involved, and she even claims that she's involved in West African spirituality, Yoruba, in her Black is King album.
See, that's some crazy stuff. And then she goes around, and when she gets her award, she thanks Jesus. Like, how do you guys feel about, all these artists just as soon as they get the reward, like, thank you for my Grammy for WAP. I like to thank Jesus. He's my savior. But, while you're twerking on stage, you know what I mean? And and the funny thing, I bring that up too. Like, we'll talk about Carly B later on, but do you think Beyonce lets her kids listen to the type of stuff she puts out there, or she's just like to promote? No. Well, Price, what you think about that, man?
Bill Gates don't even let his kids use iPads. We the stupid people that let our kids scroll and toss them an iPad to get them out our face for a while. Bill Gates don't. I know that's right, but Bill Gates don't let his kids use iPads, and I doubt she do it because Beyonce know. Look, one thing about music, and music is a frequency, and they use frequencies like megahertz and gigahertz, all that stuff to control your mind. You listen to drill music all day, you finna go out there and drill some shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. But Beyonce is a witch. They said her mouth smell like eggs, and I think she sacrificed people. So that's my take on her.
It's true. Like my mom used to always tell me, what goes in is what comes out. So if you're listening to all that type of music, and I used to growing up, Beyonce used to be my girl, Destiny's Child. I grew up with her. I used to love it. But now I know that like I can't listen to that type of music because then it just portrays in your real life. And it's true. What goes in is what comes out. You have to be careful.
You're so right about that. Yep, you're so right about that. Because if you ever see They Clone Tyrone, I don't know if you ever seen that movie, right? If you did, it's just like, you never seen it? Fam,
no, everybody keeps telling me to watch it.
Fam, you got to see it. So basically, all the hoods are clones, and government does this to keep the black folks down. And they show you how they use these frequencies in music, and they give you stuff through the fried chicken. And if you listen to the music, they're in church, and it's showing you the weak, trembling pastor in church, the one who just up there for prosperity gospel, the one who just wants your money, and they're all just chanting. And then black people in the movie, like, they're breaking free, realize, hey, what's going on in my community? And bro, if you never seen Day Clone Tyrone, viewers, you must watch it. It's fantastic, and it gives you really insight to what goes on, and it shows you that society and the media and our culture is being dictated by people who aren't even part of our culture, and we just fall for it. Because we think that's what we're supposed to do. We think we're supposed to be half naked. We think we're supposed to twerk. We think we're supposed to run out to sleep with thousands of women just because that's what the media portrays. But real talk, like, if they rather put a rap song about, you killing your ops than you put a rap song, like Nas, I Know I Can. They don't want that positive stuff. Like, when's the last time you've seen a real conscious rapper? The fact that Black Star's coming back, I'm ecstatic. But I don't trust them. I feel like they're about to be super liberal and talk on some foo-foo stuff.
Yeah.
Conscious rap don't make no money, bro. Conscious rap don't make no money. People killing it, the more going to make the money, the prison going to make the money. Nah.
It's so sad.
All of those industries that off of hip hop, all of those industries stop, right?
Your mic, bro.
the prisons and all of the industries outside of hip hop feed off of hip hop, almost like an industry like mining, someone going out and selling shovels to everybody.
Yeah. You know, I love that you even brought that up. I love that you brought that up because there is this video on YouTube about, and it's remember, you guys remember Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes. So there is. Yes, there's a video of them talking about why they left the music industry, and they were saying that there was this meeting in like 1992 when there was these private sector people that came in from the prison or the private prison industry, and they met with like hip hop, and they were talking about the future of hip hop and using hip hop almost as a vehicle to create like a long-standing population within the prison system, and using gangster rap kind of as that vessel. And like, I don't know if that's true or not. That's very like tinfoil hat, but there is this like, you know, conspiracy theory, you know, conspiracy facts about kind of the correlation between gangster rap music and the prison system. And recently, actually, Ice Cube sat on Bill Maher's show and addressed this. He was talking about, you know, gangster rap music and the people that hold stock and shares in the gangster rap music industry also hold shares in private prisons. And, you know, there's this debate within hip hop whether or not there's a correlation between the two.
Of course, it's a correlation. Look how we started. We started from conscious rap. Brenda's Got a Baby, Keep Your Head Up, to drugs.
Wow.
I'm gonna take all the Percocets. I'm depressed. I'm gonna kill everybody I see, and blah blah blah. Right. So it's a correlation because all the music that's out now is either gonna get you killed, prison, STD.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
and you don't see it. And you don't see it, and you don't see it with. I hate to say it, you don't see it with white artists. If you look at the Grammys or some kind of like award show, you'll see all the black artists, right? Female artists, half naked, twerking, you know, just whatever. And then you'll see like Billie Eilish come out in a full ball gown, you know, and then you'll see Taylor Swift come out in a full ball gown. But then you'll have like Harmony, who from what's her name? I don't Normandy. You have Normandy come out and she's like butt naked sliding across the floor, and she has amazing vocals, and she's a beautiful, beautiful, strong black woman. But they're like, you want to make money? You got to twerk.
Yeah,
that's not her. That's never a thing.
So what is that about, right?
They've been selling sex for years. Like they're still selling sex. That's been going on like since the beginning of time. Industries have been, you know, selling sex. And when you see this type of stuff, when you see, especially at the award ceremony, it's almost like it seems like some of the young black girls are being marched out there like it's a stroll, for real.
Yeah.
Like it's actual, literal stroll.
I love that we're talking about this. Because I actually had on my Instagram page, I have a series about this where I interview this young black woman artist.
I've seen that.
Yes, and we were talking about prostitution culture in hip hop and how it's like specifically black female artists are over sexualized. And I'm not just talking about like, okay, you wear some cute outfit and you're posing and whatever. No, I'm talking about like, you know, singing about prostitution culture, singing about turning dates and turning tricks, you know, like you're absolutely over sexualized. And then we see the Grammys, like you guys remember a couple of years ago when Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B came out and they performed WAP, and it was just so overly sexual. It like cemented in my mind as like, this is disgusting. And you know, WAP is now something that I use almost derogatory, like, oh, like this WAP music, it's gross, you know. And it makes me think, like, is there like this black female archetype that is in mainstream pop culture that like artists that are now trying to break into the industry feel like they have to embody this like prostitution stripper archetype in order to be taken seriously as a female artist?
I think there is, because look at Scarlett. Like when Scarlett first came out, they called her the female DMX, and now she's this. I'll send you a link. She's this new rapper coming out. They call her the female DMX, and now she's wearing like tight clothes. But another famous one who's doing songs with Meg Thee Stallion what's that? Glorilla came out. Glorilla came out, and she was like just like bars, and she got the whole street vibe. And now she got plastic surgery. She got the lashes. She got the 60-inch hair. She's twerking with Meg Thee Stallion. And you're like, she wasn't like this like 2 years ago.
Right.
And you're thinking like, is there something like this? And you don't see that with other people. You don't see, let's say you see let's take Sabrina Carpenter, right? She a Disney kid. She does songs. She's wearing like, that stuff, but she's not overly sexualized. And then when she comes to an award show, she's dressed like she's a princess. We go to award shows, we're dressed like Kanye West's wife, or just you got to have your drawers out and your whatever. And then the guys too. Like let's be real. Like just as many of the female artists, these male artists, they're sexualizing themselves behind closed doors. We all seen the Diddy stuff. That's not new. That's like we've seen Pac in the tub with the gold chains. Let's keep it 100. They've been doing this stuff for our people for a while. And that talk you were talking about with Ice Cube in the 92, I heard a lot of artists talking about that, how they left the mainstream industry. If you look at MTV and you look at who is banned from MTV during those time periods, it's all conscious rap. It's all Ruckus Records. It's not a single person. They don't even curse. It's like, why is Bryson Gray? Shout out to Bryson. Why is Bryson Gray the most blocked artist in the history of music?
Because he's talking about Jesus. Right. That's why. They don't want that. They don't want you talking about Jesus. And this is why when we go back to Kanye West, this is what really breaks my heart, because he had an album called Christ is King. Mm-hmm. And that album, Beyonce actually dropped Black is King to, undercut basically and undermine Christ is King. And so now when we fast forward from Christ is King to 2025 at the Grammys, he's got his wife out here looking scandalous, and then he doubled down behind it. It's like, bro, you can't come out and proclaim that Christ is King and then conduct yourself in this way, because you're now going to give people that are looking to Christ or looking at you like someone that believes in Christ, like this is what Christ is, and that's what really breaks my heart about the Grammys, because I love Kanye, I believe in him, I've always been a fan of him. But then this is what you're doing. You're calling yourself a Christian, but it's really sad. And it makes me think, is this really Kanye, or is this a handler? Like some, Hollywood Babylon handler that's having Kanye do this, I'm not saying that it is, but it makes me think about it, because how can you believe in Christ and devote an album to Christ and then conduct yourself in this way?
Because a lot of people don't really believe in God. They have other substitutions. They got money. They have drugs. They have government. And one thing that I noticed that people worship now, they worship skin color. Makes your skin color your God. You know what I mean? That's why there's so much stuff with DIE and critical race theory. And Thomas Sowell talked about this a long time ago, and he called it cosmic justice. But I bring that up because I like to ask the panel: do you think Beyonce winning that country album of the year, was that a DEI win? Do you think she actually deserved that?
That was a paid win. That one no DEI, that was paid.
Our price. Tell us more about that. You don't know about payola. Can you tell us more about payola in music?
Nah, they get paid. First and foremost, award shows ain't nothing but opinion-based trophies. That's all that is. Beyonce has that name. Jay-Z has his name. He done paid them off to give her that award to boost her sales or whatever they about to boost with that.
Yeah.
Hey, but touch on one thing before we switch subjects.
Yeah, got you.
We was talking about the rap thing and the 304 culture. I'm gonna say 304. If you bring that type of noise to white people, minus Miley Cyrus, it's gonna be an uproar. You bring it to the Jewish community, it's gonna be an uproar. If you bring it to the Asian community, no, I ain't even gonna say them. They be wilding too. But no other culture that I know of talks about unaliving each other the way that we do. No other culture talk about taking drugs as much as we do. So if we accept it, the other cultures, they go crazy, man. You ain't killing my child. You ain't doing this and the third.
Right.
We accept it and then promote it. So
it makes you think.
Right. Yeah.
Why is that?
It makes you think okay, so people are signing these artists. People are signing these artists, and there's obviously like a board that, you know, vets this music and then approves it to be released. So who is approving this music to be released? You know what I'm saying?
Not even just approving it. I think they tell them what to say. They got to be telling them what to say, because you come from Bone Thugs and Harmony, I Miss My Uncle Charles, to I Killed That Nigga Charles. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They're being told, and when we'll drop this the video and the link. We'll find it. But this is a record executive, and he's talking about how he'll go to studios. I mean, he'll go to radio station. He like, I got this song about killing dogs. You guys want it? They're like, no. I got this song about, you know, about doing this other thing. No. I got this song about, you know, about black on black crime, guys shooting each other. And and the radio execs, so who's it from? You know what I mean? They make their money off that. They push money off our destruction, and we sit back and we eat it up, and then we sell it to the next generation. Like, I'm seeing, like, there's black kids. Like, I live in the suburbs. Like, and my kids be saying there's kids talking in their school talking about ops. Man, you got no ops. You literally live in the suburbs. Ain't nothing going on. And then you got kids off where Demetrius lives who are taking this stuff like it's the Bible, like it's law, and deading each other, and over blocks that don't even belong to them. And this is being perpetuated by the music industry.
And look, I work with a lot of the teenagers, and we have like a writing hip hop portion of the curriculum for the teenagers in the aftercare programs, right? So giving them an opportunity to write and express themselves. One, none of the children are really on level in the inner city. So it's very difficult for a teenager to write, to express himself, right? Then he only has at his utility what he consumes, how we were talking about earlier. So every one of the rhymes that I hear initially has to do with murder and sex, until we have to tap in almost in a form of therapy and teach them the therapeutic modes of writing before they can really tap into and begin to tell their story of trauma, express their dreams and passions for the future. But they are so limited, unfortunately, a lot of these kids, and that's all they're ingesting. Like, they're just ingesting that. Whether it's violence on the tablet when you're watching it with your eyes or listening to it with your music. And it's to the point where even like 3 and 4-year-old children, their first initial reaction is not to cry, it's to hit or to bite or to kick, you know, because when they have the tablet nonstop, right, from COVID, they have the tablet nonstop. What are they watching? Were they playing with educational toys and apps and games, or were they playing with stuff that, you know, was just watching videos of like Play-Doh people kicking other people downstairs? Like, this is the madness that's going on. And like, I don't see any difference between that and Cardi B or any of the other artists, you know? It's overload violence. Overload sexuality.
100%. So,
but we're the ones that allow it, though. I mean, our culture is the ones that allow it, because if it wasn't for us accepting it and if it wasn't selling, then they wouldn't continue to do what they're doing. So it's like, how do we change the culture? Like, if it wasn't selling, then the albums wouldn't just keep being produced. So it's like, how do we impact it and change it? That's like the biggest thing that I want to do.
Yes. So like, I'm a huge proponent of, like, you know, I feel like more parents that see how this music is affecting their children should sue the radio stations, should sue the record industries. Like, I think that there should be the same level of standard of pornography when it comes to visual stimuli as it is to audio stimuli, because there, for instance, on commercials, you cannot have a commercial, you cannot have a TV show, or even post on YouTube pornographic material. There is a certain standard, there is certain like guardrails on what visual stimuli or what visual like content that you can post. I think the same standard should be applied to audio content as well, because it is still, you know, entering the people's entire like brain waves. You know, they're listening to it, they're filtering it out, people are processing it, and it's still pornographic, even though it's not visual, it's audio. And I think that there needs to be more lawsuits, because that's the only thing that people really respond to. Like, you can, you know, say everything that you want, but you have to be able to prove that there is harm. And I think that we can prove that there is harm if you can see, like, you know, correlate the amount of murders, black on black violence and murders. Did it go up since the dawn of gangster rap? And also, I posted a link in our group chat just now, and it is a video from the Boondocks where they talk about like BET and kind of what we're talking about. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if we can play that at some point and then react to it, because I honestly feel like that is what is going on. This one scene from the Boondocks where they kind of relate like a BT, a meeting at BET, and it's like this crazy evil like genius who's like, how do we destroy the culture?
So Mike says in the comments, yeah, sue the crap out of them. He agrees with you.
Yes. And if we can prove harm, we can. If we can prove that this is harming people, that people are resulting, young males are resulting to gang violence and black on black crime as a result of this gangster rap music, we could probably sue them, and that will, set the precedent. Yeah. For guardrails on the
So I got the video sent over to our, shout out to Darius. We got some amazing producers on our team. Darius has been fired today, and Mike back there too. But I love that you brought out that episode. But why he loads that episode up, or that clip? Let me tell you something about that episode. This episode was banned from TV. There's only been 2 episodes of the Boondocks ever banned from TV, allegedly. And this one was the first one. And the second one was the Tyler Perry Pause episode. So we can talk about that when we talk about the femininity of men and all that stuff. But this episode was specifically taken off air because BET sued them because they said this was, they were upset about the images. But we watched BET. BET is nothing but like recycled garbage from MTV, and there's nothing positive about it. And even with the music, it's garbage. Like I like hip hop. And the only time I turn to BET now is to watch the hip hop cipher, the awards, and watch the ciphers. And even those are garbage. Those are garbage. So hey, just while we wait for this, guys, just to let you know, if you're tired of your producer and dancing in your videos, and if you're tired of your producer trying to sexualize you, and if you're tired of your producer trying to get you a whole bunch of baby oil, come over to 511 Media. We got you. We're opening up a record company, part of our stuff. We're gonna have music. So if you want to actually come here and do some real stuff, we got you. Because you don't need to be covered in baby oil or hang out with Carl Winslow to get a deal.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I know you said to sue like the radio stations and whatnot, but what about the parents that's allowing that? What about the mothers that's letting their kids watch Love and Hip Hop and all that ratchet stuff? What about the fathers that's coming in high up and pants sagging, gang banging, twisting their fingers up, all that stuff? What about them? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to sue. I know, right?
Price, you hit the nail on the head. Where's the significance? Where's the significance of accountability?
Ain't nobody gonna have no accountability though. If we being honest, the black culture don't have no accountability.
Shout out Patriot Kyle. He says parents need to be better parents, and I totally agree with that.
I know that's right, Kyle.
And my city coordinator Diamond, I don't know if she's walking, but shout out Diamond. She has that perspective as well. She's like, okay, yes, there's a lot of ratchet stuff going out in the world, but what about the accountability of parents? And my take is that, yes, parents need to, be stricter and more vigilant, but at the same time, like, it's not like society's making it easier for parents. No. It's making it harder for them. It's like, now it's like, especially say single mothers that have to work, a 9 to 5, and then they come home, they're so tired, they have to clean, they have to cook, they have to meal prep. And now it's like, now you have to vet every single last thing on the internet. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where you almost don't want your kids to have like phones or iPods. And Kiki, you can probably speak more to this because you have a daughter. What is it like for you in this world trying to raise, your adolescent daughter and keep her away from WAP?
I mean, we keep her away from WAP. We just tell our kids that, like, I'm sorry, you're going to grow up different. They don't have access to the internet. They have I have parental controls on literally everything that they see. They don't have just unlimited access to the internet, and that's just how you have to be in this day and age. And they just know that that's how their life is going to be. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't care. When you live under my household, that's the way that's going to be. When you move out and you're 18, you can do whatever the heck you want. Like, I'm just that strict parent that doesn't care. I'm not your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to parent you and to make sure that you grow up to be a good adult. When you're an adult, you can do whatever the heck you want. But that's we set strict standards. They don't have unlimited access to everything. Like, you just can't in this day and age, unfortunately.
I agree with you. My kids don't have my kids.
There you go, Price.
Price. I got that a lot, and that made me the man I am today.
Just pull that out that fast? Did you just whip it off your belt?
Come on. 3 minutes.
That's experience. That got built out that fast. That's experience.
But Kiki, I'm with you. My kids never had social media. I make sure they don't have it, and also I see everything they download. So even if they try to download the thing, I'll go to them like, you're not supposed to have social media, right? And then they'll go delete the thing.
Like, this is, I'm like, wait, what is this? Let me see what this app is, because you never know. It could be a wording, and then it's completely different than what it actually is. Like, you just never know. Like, my daughter downloaded an app where she could voice chat with random people. I'm like, no, you're not voice chatting with people that I don't know. And that was in that was in the kids app, and she was just randomly voice chatting with people, like walkie-talkie style. And I'm like, wait, let me see what this is, because it comes up on my phone, like you said, Jerry. It comes up on my phone. It says kids walkie-talkie or something, and she can talk with anybody. And I told her they can pretend that they're 12 and they're 37 years old talking to you, and she's like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, the kids just don't know.
Yeah. Price, when you set the kid's phone up and you set up their access to the settings, you can set it up that any single app that they download comes to your phone. You can have it come up for your approval. Like for my daughter, because she's younger, I have to approve everything. But for my son, I just see what he downloads. And then if I don't like it, we talk about it. But he's not into social media because we always talked about it. But for my daughter, because I say young girls are more into social media than guys, I see anything she downloads, any game, any app, everything. And I talk to her.
But you still have to be careful, though, because I have my 11-year-old set up to where she can only download kid-friendly apps, and that walkie-talkie app was a kid-friendly app. But I don't trust people, like I said, talking to her. She's like, well, all I do is just send voice chats back and forth, Mommy. It's no big deal. No, it is a big deal, because I don't know what they're telling you. So you still have to be careful no matter what. Like, it's insane.
I'm sorry.
I would definitely give the advice to parents: be as creepy as possible. Be all in your kid business. Shout out to my daughter Ray. Today is her 12th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Daddy love you. We're gonna have a lot of fun this weekend here. But yeah, and she knows, because she's on TikTok, and I'm right on her TikTok with her, right? Watching what she creates, watching her messages as they come in. I'm doing as much oversight as possible. I would have felt uncomfortable with this level of oversight when I was a kid, so that lets me know that I'm doing it right.
Right. But even the people that make social media, they don't even allow their kids on social media apps. But that just tells you something.
That's why I don't do it. Because I had a social media company, and I used to be like 15, 16 different politicians at one time, and I would show my kids the back end. I said, listen, those celebrities have a guy like me, an uncool, corny dad, running the site. So that's who you're really talking to. So none of that stuff, whatever. Shout out to Antoine too, who's saying shout out to creepy vigilante parents. Yes, you go. For real talk, we love Antoine, and I gotta say, when we talk about, I want to brag on this guy for a second. When we talk about grassroots stuff, this guy's out in Pennsylvania. He goes down to Kingston. This guy, lives what he says. So when you hear, we're talking about being good parents and, being, good fathers, like this is one of the best fathers out here I know, and one of the best men I know. So I'm glad that you took the time to join with us. And you know what? Let's bring up Valerie's comment. Let's talk about that.
I was just looking at that one. What up, Val? Hey, Valerie.
Yeah. So said, my boys went from listening to country music to listening to Ratchet. I asked one of them why does he like it? He said because it sounds good in the ear. The best are literally the beats are really holding his mind. They're 14 and 15. Yes. You can't get locked up with the drums. Everyone hits those drums and that beat, and they forget the lyrics. That's why Bruno Mars got a song with "Sexy Red" now, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
And they say they're doing that because now they're trying to sell "Sexy Red" to the Caucasian and white audience. But if you listen to her song, the one with Bruno Mars, it's still ratchet, but it's toned down. So even when they start to trickle into the mainstream artists, even with Carly B, they tone down their stuff because like just like Price said, because Price was 100% right. No other race of culture wants that. Man, I got the spot near me called Crowns. I don't know if you guys got Crowns chickens by you, but it's a fire chicken spot. And old boy, like they're Muslim, right? They're from Pakistan. So his son was out there hanging out with, hanging out the fellows on the corner, right? Just trying to be cool. His dad went up there and whooped the crap out of his son, took out the belt. He said, "Get back in that kitchen. You are not going to hang out on the block with these people." But the guy had no problem selling stuff to these people. You get what I'm saying? He like, "You could be my customer, but you can't be my son's friend."
Right.
And the black people didn't even realize what was going on. They still go over there. I admit, I still go over there. Chicken's fire. But like, you know what I mean? But these are the type of things that we don't pay attention to.
We need to take a field trip to visit you so we can all have some chicken.
Yeah, they got the crowns by me. They got the crowns by Demetrius. I think Demetrius' crowns is better.
Bro, yeah, I can have several crowns and Detroit fried chickens, and if you name it, we have it. But that goes to show that we, unfortunately, right now, it seems to be what's dominant in Black culture is the toxic part of Black culture, and where it should be, if at all, a small slither for the artistry of it. Maybe there can be an argument for that. But at the end of the day, right now, what's projected internationally is the ratchet,
Yeah.
And that's just unfortunate. It was never like that before.
Yeah, and it brings you back to that question, like, does art imitate life or does life imitate art?
Yep.
And so I think we have that video loaded right now of the Boondocks. I would really love if we can drop it and then get the reaction from the panel.
And comments from those watching too.
Welcome to BET headquarters. I'm Deborah Leavell. It's 2 p.m., so it's time for a morning staff meeting. Our leader, Bob Johnson, had a dream. A dream of creating a network that would accomplish what hundreds of years of slavery, Jim Crow, and malt liquor couldn't. The destruction of Black people!
Yo, sister.
Is that so hard?
Mistress Leavell, since BET came into existence, terrible things have happened to Black people. Dropout rates, teen pregnancy, unemployment, and incarceration have skyrocketed since our debut 25 years ago. We really believe we're making a difference.
The destruction of Black people is not happening fast enough! The other day I saw 3 niggas reading books. One of them was smiling. Yes.
He gonna die.
No, I'll have to call him back. Oh, and I need another math guy. The dude with the charts and
He did.
Yeah, him. I need another one. Yeah, and a cleanup crew. Oh, and another shoe. Left. No, Prada. Wetty Redlin, my Harvard-educated president of entertainment. Tell me about the evil shows you have in development.
Tell it, brother.
Mistress Leavell, my Harvard education tells us that our goal is to take all the shitty reality shows MTV did 5 years ago and make them black. Anyone who wants to see a shitty black version of an MTV reality show, well, they'll have to come to us.
What else?
Next month, we're gonna have our first award show honoring video hosts, or as I like to call it, a award show.
Hilarious.
Right. I don't get it.
Must be some of that Harvard humor. That's
Personnel! How are we f***ing up niggas' money?
Well, let's see. As you've requested, nobody outside this room has been paid for months.
And you fired everyone that could read.
Mm-hmm.
I love it! Okay, and public relations?
Mistress Leavell, we got one thing to report, all right? Some little nigga named Huey Freeman. Apparently he all critical of the network and talking about he's starting a hunger strike.
Why? What did we ever do to him except try to destroy Black people? What's the problem?
This hunger strike will continue until BET is taken off the air, the office is shut down, and all its top executives commit Japanese ritual suicide.
He's just a kid. No one can stand in my way of destroying Black people. Especially not Huey Freeman.
So I must say about that video, you know, we love the video. It's hilarious. If you've never seen the Boondocks, you should definitely check it out because it's some great satire and it was a comic strip too. And we like the stuff in that video, but we do not, here at the Cancel Clique, we do not believe in Japanese ritualistic suicide.
You're right.
So the people watching at home, people watching at home, we're not telling you to go kill yourself, to go unalive yourselves, any of that stuff. That was just for satire to prove a point, because BET is like that. The only thing they left out is why they play Baby Boy like 24/7. Like, I think that's like the BET go-to movie. Like, it's Baby Boy, and then it's just like a whole bunch of ratchet people fighting. And now I want to ask a question to the ladies on the panel. When you see baddies east, baddies west, all this stuff fighting on that stuff, do you enjoy that? Do you think that's like a good I know it's a loaded question, but do you think that's a good representation of Black women today?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Go ahead, Lala.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you could tell them anything,
and
if you could tell them anything, some of these Natalie Nuns with her.
This is like
someone that was me the other day, so I'll be nice about Natalie. I'll leave her alone. I'll just say people like Natalie Nunn and all those other ones. Like, what can you say to the Sukiyanas, the Natalie Nunns of the world?
No, Natalie Nunn has been ratchet for a really long time. And look, these people, these women, they pick the most like ratchet, most like hood rat, loud, unbridled, uncouth, like women that are, you know, fighting, they're violent, they're disrespectful, and they put a spotlight on them. They, as in like the media, the entertainment world, whoever the producers are that are putting on this show, like they're staffing and hiring like these specific type of people. It's not like they're going and finding like, you know, Black women that are respectable, that are feminine, that are married, that have children. It's not like they're finding like, you know, families or trying to spotlight that. They're finding these like ratchet women that represent like the bottom, low vibrational, you know, ghetto representation of Black people and Black culture. And then they're, you know, putting a spotlight on them and having it appear as though like this is a representation of all Black people in general. And I think it's doing a disservice to us because other races see the TV and they're like, oh, this must be what Black people are about. Because if they weren't about this, why aren't they combating it? Why is somebody not writing a letter, you know, like a cease and desist? Why is somebody not suing them? You know, like, because other races would. You would never ever see, you know, like any other demographic of people, whether it be Asian, whether it be Italian, whether it be Jewish, like you'll never see them have, you know, their women stripped down absolutely naked and on display in the way that a lot of Black women are on display in music videos and music and in TV shows, all this stuff. It represents a very low vibrational aspect of Black culture that may still be there, but that is not a representation of all of us as a whole. There are, you know, scholars in our community. There are engineers. There are Marines. We have one on the panel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying like that, you know, those people do exist, but I think we need to do a better job of representing all of our talents and our abilities. What do you guys think?
Yep. But it's also seeping into politics too. I mean, look at Meg Thee Stallion. She's twerking on stage for Kamala. Like they're just trying to seep it into they're trying to seep it into the political framework also. And it's like I don't accept it. I personally don't accept it. But if other people are, then what are we supposed to do? Like I heard for Kamala's thing with Meg Thee Stallion, after she got done twerking her booty on stage for everybody left. After that, that's all they wanted to see. They didn't want to see Kamala talk about politics. They just wanted to see Meg Thee Stallion shaking her butt.
I mean,
Yeah.
can Kamala even talk about politics really, or is she just gonna like pull us in this like word salad, like nauseating circle where she's just rambling on and on, you know?
Seriously.
But no, I totally agree. Like that Meg the Stallion stunt was just so embarrassing because all of the world's eyes was on America at that point, and what they saw was a, you know, Black woman twerking with a crop top on a presidential stage. And that, whether we like it or not, that is, you know, every time we step on a stage, every time we step on a mic, not just us, but every single demographic, like you're representing your community. Whether you like it or not, people are going to judge. People are going to have opinions. You can't stop that. And so what are you doing to move us forward? Because it seems like Meg the Stallion is trying to move us back.
Yeah. So let me post this to the fellas. So what if we, you know, we got these, you know, we're going to tailor our language a little bit. We got these 403s. If you don't know what that is, you know, ask your young kids. They'll let you know what that is. So we got these 403s who
it's 304s.
Like, 304s. 304s. They say, don't say them. They don't want to be saved. Like, is it worth like men like us, men of purpose, men of, you know, God-fearing men? Is it worth for us to, you know, waste our time trying to save somebody who quote unquote to the song don't want to be saved? Are we wasting our time?
You gotta explain 304s to everybody that doesn't know what that means. Like
it's a hoe.
Promiscuous woman. It's a promiscuous woman of the night who likes to gallivant and have a lot of promiscuous times with other people.
Roxanne.
Yes, yeah, Roxanne. Turn on the red light. 100%.
Yeah. you got me. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's go up for Jersey. I know. So for fellas, like, is it worth it? I know we talked about it the other day, but if they don't want to be saved, is it worth saving? Because we know, and no disrespect to the women, the way that the man goes in a relationship, it's the way the family goes. Let's bring in church. The kid goes to church, 5% of family, 6% will follow. The woman goes 13, 15. But if the man goes to church, 70, 80%. And it even says, like, in a child's life, the father, and again, single mothers out there, don't hate me. I've been a single father since the kids were 2 and 4. I got a great fiance now, and I even know that, you know, the nuclear family is important. Shout out to Blexit. Check out my documentary about Black Fathers Matter. Just a cheap little drop right there. But yeah, I'm saying, like, is it worth it? Do we waste our time? Like, if you're in love with somebody, but you find out she's for the streets.
And just to preface, Blexit is nonpartisan. So just so y'all know, this is separate from Blexit.
Yeah, this is not Blexit. This is not Turning Point. When we come on this show, this is ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we all rock with 501c3s, but we know we got the MAGA hats on. We don't talk about that stuff. If you want to talk about that stuff, see us on our work hours. This is us coming as individual citizens, because we care about what's going on in this country and we love our community. So all you people up there trying to mess it up for us, yes, Antoine, I definitely will open up the Urban Dictionary. I'm going to download that.
So Mike Harvey says they try and make it seem like all Black women are single junkie mothers with no daddy in the home. And I couldn't agree more. I feel like there is this like archetype. I don't know who made it, because it's just like, even when you go all the way back, like go to Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, they were over sexualized too. And then you go to Lauryn Hill, who was not overly sexualized, and she left the music industry after her first album, right? And then you fast forward to Nicki Minaj, and she had that, you know, same album cover as Lil' Kim, where she was like squatting bare butt over, you know, with that lollipop. And her music, even though I love Nicki to death, but her music is even super overly sexualized. And then after Nicki, you got the Cardi B, you got Meg Thee Stallion, you got Glorilla, you got all these female rappers that are rapping about prostitution culture. So is there an archetype for females? Is like, do you guys think that there's something nefarious like going on behind the scenes? Like there's guardrails on the music industry, what music can and cannot be, you know, distributed? Or do you think it's all a coincidence?
No, guardrails, 100%. Let's take K-pop, for example. Let's take Blackpink. and what's another group? Let's take these K-pop groups. They rap. They rap all the time, right? There's this rapper named Cochina. She's like 19, but you never see her say anything sexual. Like these groups, right? These K-pop groups, they're rappers. They embody hip hop, but they're rapping over Noriega beats. You know, they're rapping over 90s beats, 2000 beats. They're wearing regular clothes. They're not sexualizing anything. You know, they're being girly girls to make up and to dance and everything. But you would never see it. You never see these K-pop girls twerking, and they're rapping. And I hate to say it, they got better bars than the women we got out now. I mean, they're embracing hip hop. Like, I'm a little offended that our culture in America has left hip hop. You go to Japan, and Japan is still having like Wu-Tang. They're still embracing real hip hop. They know the 5 elements of hip hop. I'm asking, hey, any fans on here? You know what? We'll do 2 things. Any fans on here?
Let's get into it.
Hip hop. You let us know. If you can tell me without looking it up, we might send you a T-shirt.
I can tell you.
Yeah, let's give something away. I like that.
Come on, man. We got the graffiti artists.
Hey, Darius, can you bring
No, don't give it away, Lala.
Oh, I got it.
No, me too.
Jay Carney's comment. Let's bring up. So guys, this is why we have fun. So because we're talking about conservative values, because we're talking about not being victims, we happen to be called Sambos today. Aw, we're a Sambo. Aw.
Same old. They always have the same old words.
Jay Carney, guess what? I'll invite you. I will invite you to come on the show. You could come onto the show, and if you could come debate your side. We will let you debate. You can pick any one of us. You could pick any of us. You can put a name in a hat. I guarantee you, any one of the team will smash you when it comes to this stuff. So you can all Sambos, right? But guess what? Guess who the real sellouts are? People who celebrate BET, people who push DEI, people who don't care about having Black fathers in the household, people who don't care that BLM stole so much money and made mansions, people don't care who said Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black, people who don't care that Kamala Harris is only Black when it's time for elections. You guys are the sellouts, you guys are the Sambos, and you guys are the ones that Malcolm X warned us about. You know what? I'm trying to keep it friendly and keep it nice, but don't make that Jared come back. Don't make that Jared come out, because I will school you on your nonsense.
Y'all are haters.
We are all strong Black people who understand what we're talking about. So you want to talk about the issues? We'll talk about the issues. You want to call us Sambos? Well, we got jokes for days. So you know what I mean? We can do that too.
DM us, Jay, and we'll have you be a guest on the show. We don't mind. Come on up. We'll love to have
anyone who doesn't agree with us, come on our show and tell us to our faces, because we have no problem defending our points of view, because we know we're right. And we know you're right, and you know you have stuff to say. Oh, can we put up Antoine's comments up there?
Right.
2 days we already have trolls. Yeah, because we're making a difference. Thank you, trolls. We appreciate you, and we will always call you out, because you know what? Because you want the attention. Now you got the attention. Now be a man or whatever you call yourself today in your gender fluidity, and come see me on this set, and we'll keep it fair. We'll keep it 100. But if you can't man up and to back up your stance, you're a waste of our time, and we keep it moving. We'll debate anybody, but we're not wasting time calling back and calling people names, because we know who we are. We know who we are in Christ, and we know who we are in our skin. We're Americans who happen to be Black, who love our culture and love being Black, and you're just a man who happens to love being a victim. You're, as Kendrick Lamar says, you're not like us, and that brings me up to the Grammys. This man got 5 Grammys for a diss song, and let's have some fun. Do you think he's gonna play They're Not Like Us at the Super Bowl?
Yes, obviously. I hope he does, because you know what? Drake is a problem, and for all you who's a Drake fan up here? Who's on Team Kendrick? Who's on Team Drake?
You can't be a Drake fan after Kendrick dropped those bars. It makes you feel like I'm supporting allegedly pedal music. And guys, we say alleged because we don't know if it's true or not. We'll see when the lawsuits come up. But I will say this: he sued the record label, but then sued Kendrick. And also for hip hop, like whoever sues for hip hop beef, you didn't see Eazy-E sue over No Vaseline. You ain't hear Biggie sue over Hit 'Em Up, and those were way worse. No Vaseline, No Vaseline destroyed NWA. They didn't have another album after that.
Right.
You know,
and then Ether, like did Jay-Z sue Nas after Ether? You know what I mean? It's just like crazy. Pusha T, you know, like all of the rap beefs. I just think it's just so ridiculous that Drake claims that he's a rapper, he must not be a real MC as far as like hip hop is concerned, because it's not hip hop to like sue your opponent. You just write better bars next time and come out with a better song. But props.
Can't.
What do you say?
He can't.
His ghostwriters retired. It was 30 on 1, and those 30 are like, man, I'm going to be in Kendrick's video. I'm going to squabble up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, my song on that album was Reincarnated, for real. That song was really tough. But honestly, he had a great album. People loved all the tracks. I have a couple tracks that I play in my cycle. And props to Kendrick. Kendrick, he's somebody that he wore the Christ crown in it wasn't Damn. It was the album after Damn.
It was Damn.
Was it Damn? Was that the album cover where he wore the Christ crown?
See, that's where I have an issue with. Like, I rock with Kendrick. I understand he's a Black Israelite, saying like that.
Is he?
Yeah. If you listen, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm very blunt, guys. When I used to be a swinging from the chandelier Pentecostal guy, and then when I went on my journey of discovery, I went down that whole Black Hebrew path, and then once I realized
it was a Black Hebrew.
Once I just realized it was all about racism, I left that, and I believe in God, no denomination, but I went down that path, right? And all it teaches you is to hate the white man and to listen to like one verse in the Bible of Deuteronomy stuff. But if you listen to Kendrick's lyrics, 100% the Black Israelite, the stuff that he talks about.
I didn't know that.
So for me, I found the crown was offensive because you should know better. And again, there's different. There's Black Israelites, there's Black Hebrews. I mean, there's levels to it. But it's a person who used to be it and almost went down that path. Like it's a dangerous path. The ones in New York, we argue all the time. I'm like, white people, get off the ground, don't kiss their feet. I said, brothers, like, you don't got to wear tassels. Get into the Bible. Like, but Kendrick, 100%. And I feel sometimes it's sacrilegious. It wasn't as bad as Nas and Diddy crucifying themselves, saying you can hate me now. But as a Christian, I'm like, come on, bro. Like we get what you're trying to do, right?
Well, yeah, the Hebrew Israelites are very, very racist. Like when I was going through my journey, reading scriptures, studying with different denominations, and I came across the Hebrew Israelites, I was like, these people are crazy. Like they dress up like Mortal Kombat. You see them on the corner. They're ready to they got signs with white people with devil horns and tails, and they're screaming at you, they have tails, It's like, y'all are nuts. So I didn't know that Kendrick was a Hebrew Israelite. That kind of makes me not like him a little bit, because they're so flagrantly racist that it's just, the vibration is just not holy.
Yes. Could we have Antoine's comment? No, Antoine, I never wore the purple and gold Power Ranger outfit. So what it was is that I just started studying the Bible, and then in this area, they're real heavy in Jersey. And I start, talking with the guys. But once I start seeing the outfits and the stuff they were talking about, what attracted me was that they were family orientated, they were hard workers. And honestly, I didn't have a strong biblical worldview at the time. Like once I dived into my Bible and got a real worldview, I was able to realize it wasn't right. So I started going to Messianic Jewish places. And when I went there, there was tons of Black people there who used to be former Hebrew Israelites who said, yeah, this is wasn't for me. And they realized that. And then I'm calling shenanigans, Valerie. Can we bring up Valerie's comment?
My ex had a tail.
No picture didn't happen. For real, no picture that happened, but I got away from that, and I dived into my Bible, and I feel like sometimes when you're young and you're Black and you're angry at the world, it's so easy to fall prey to some of these false prophets, and I fell prey to some false prophets, and that's why I always say you have to know your scripture, you have to know the word. If you're in the word, you can't fall for this, and we have so many people like that. We have the Lecraes and the Pastor Todds and the Al Sharptons. And I mentioned Al Sharptons because this guy's been doing this for years. Hey, Derek, can you drop that video of Al Sharpton? This is him protesting Costco. No, this is him celebrating Costco keeping DEI. If you don't know what DEI stands for, it stands for did not earn it. So what you have here is called a buy-in. So he brought a whole bunch of Black people, to spend all their hard-earned black money in a company that's probably owned by foreigners, and the money doesn't go back into the community because they support DEI. And let's take a guess. Hey, people watching at home, what percentage of black folks do you think DEI helps? Do you think 50, 60, 70, 90? Does anybody know the answer, panel?
Zero.
Comment and let us know what you think the percentage is.
Zero.
15. Is it 15?
We'll give you a hint.
I know the real thing.
It's less than 10. You know, DEI did nothing for anything for the black community. What it was, all it did, in my opinion, guys, so you guys don't try to sue us because this is my opinion. In my opinion, all it did was give kids in college with worthless degrees something to do and divide us. Like, there's no need for DEI in the military. And I think I speak for me and Kiki on that one. It's all about our brothers and sisters in arms, and it's not about like, pushing this. Like, we look weak to other countries. And I'll tell you something too.
1000%.
Like terrorists, and you can look this up. You don't have to believe me. Terrorists take those videos of the LGBT stuff in the military or the stuff they push in the videos, and they show them to the local people and saying, hey, this is what America's going to do to your boys. You need to fight against this. And they fight against it because they think you're going to come there and feminize their boys.
Yes.
And this is what they're doing, and they're putting me and Kiki's brothers and sisters in danger. Like, DEI, it's dangerous for people's safety. You don't need to know 50 million different races or 72 genders in order to do your job in the military.
There isn't nothing. 72 genders, Jarrett.
Oh, officially, I can say this too. 2 genders. Oh, and by the way, if you guys, there's only 2 genders, guys. And that reminds me too, there's a rapper out there named Tyson James. You check out his song called 2 Genders. And all the conservative rappers out there, we got a project going on. We're going to get a conservative Christian cipher and show them that we have some real bars. So if you're interested, drop us some lines. I was serious about I was joking around about not dancing in your video. If your video's fire, I'm going to be dancing in it. But we really want to bring you guys in and help you guys out because, like, we got some music. We know what we're doing. And we really need to push this. We got people like Bryson who does great stuff. We got Topper, we got Swayze. And then you bring up people like
Lala.
Look, Lala is fire. Her stuff is great. But people like Lecrae, right? They're always pushing these people who think they're biblical, but they're not. They're sellouts. And I think CCH rappers have been selling us out for years. And I feel like, and I hate to say it, I feel like some parts of the black church have sold us out too.
Well,
Not
all of them. We got a Reverend Childress that Demetrius knows. Reverend Childress is fire. He's on the fire for the Lord. He fights for the babies. He's in the middle of the hood. I mean, it's every black pastor was like him. We wouldn't need a cancel clique because everything would be good.
Shout out to Pastor Childress. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Christian hip hop is a really big threat because, for one, music is all about vibration, right? And that is like the vibration is and music, comes out, has different hertz and all this stuff. So when you're talking about Christianity in lyrics and you're making songs about it where people can hear it, that's a threat to Hollywood Babylon, who, is consecrating their music under dark spells and different things like that. Like, if you believe that. And so, they can't have Christian artists because now that's combating like their agenda and what they're trying to do, which is spread all this like heathenism and this like debauchery through music. Like, even just listen to like Future, who's like one of the most popular rappers. Every single song or like every other song has demon time in it. He's talking about demon time. Beyonce's talking about demon time, like all these different things. Like, people, don't know what that means. They're like, oh, what is demon time? Demon time has a specific like purpose when it comes to the occult. Every single hour of the day is associated with some demon. And so when they call demon time, it's like, that's the demon that you're going to invoke. Like, there's all this type of stuff that like the layman person wouldn't know. And, they're listening to this music and they're like, oh, they're reciting the words. And then life imitates art. And that's the whole purpose of it. So like, if you have Christian hip hop artists that are talking about some real stuff, that is a problem for them because audio is like the quickest way into your subconscious. right? Not to get too deep, but when we talk about what happened to conscious hip hop, that is what happened to conscious hip hop. They knew that conscious hip hop was a problem because it was igniting, thought and igniting all of this, positive things within people to make them question the establishment, question their reality. They had to take it out.
So
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's time. I gotta go.
Oh, it's fine, Price. You fam. So guys,
Yeah,
Price is checking out. You guys will see him next. We'll see him next week. He's part of fam. And thanks for being with us this week. And we'll touch base soon, guys. Make sure you follow him.
Friday, y'all.
A Hood Conservative on all the platforms. His content is fire. It's funny. It's educational, and you'll have a good time. So,
Price.
Take it later, Price. See, this is why we have a clique, guys. I should let you guys know this too. Depending on the episode, it'll be different. It might be all 5 of us, might be 3 of us. We do so much with the communities. We travel a lot, so there'll be different times we'll have different people here, but you'll never miss an episode, and we'll always be here for you because that's what we're here to do. We're here to show you that we care. And Antoine, I see you right there. Yeah, I would love to have a block party with
Me
Toaster
too. I've seen that comment. That'd be so awesome.
We know those guys, so we'll reach out to them. We'll see what we can do. And bars,
but I suggest we add Lala to that mix too.
Yeah, Darth Lala. Yes, bring some bars right there. And guys, and I think that this is a lot of the stuff we've been talking about. It's been great, and it shows to me when we talk about music, and it shows the influence of the Black culture throughout the world with our music. It shows me how powerful we really are as a culture. So this is why I don't understand DEI and the need for it. I have this video, guys. There's this woman who's going to explain, how she feels about DEI, and let's see if you agree with her. If you can bring that up there, Darius.
Trump is ending all federal DEI programs. So diversity, equity, inclusion, just gone, out the window. And I could not be happier. Ooh, what a good day to be alive. Oh my goodness. Goodbye, DEI. Goodbye. See you later. Sayonara. Who knew? Who knew? Merit and qualifications? Yeah. Who knew? Ooh, sign me up. Sign me up. I am so thankful that is out the window because who's it helping? Who is it helping? No one needs handouts. Think about it. If you are not fit for a job, then you shouldn't get the job. If you're not fit for the school, you shouldn't get into the school. And literally statistics will show people that get in based on DEI, affirmative action, whatever, they test lower, they do lower, they're just not qualified, right, for the position, and it ends up hurting themselves and others in the process. And
absolutely.
Anyways, oh, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord. No more DEI.
Yeah.
So
the only people
you guys missed DEI? Are you guys missing it yet?
No. DEI needs to DIE. I'm sorry. Like she said, so you get into a college based on the color of your skin. You get in based on lower test scores than other people. But then when you're in the college, the tests aren't going to be at a lower standard because of your skin color. They're not going to curve your score because of your skin color. They only curve it for you to get into the college.
Right.
So then you are performing at a lower rate than other people, and it's going to just hinder you when you're in that college. The same when it goes to being let's say, a pilot. I mean, with all these plane crashes that have been going on, we see that we don't want you to be qualified to be a pilot because you have a C on your test score, but only because of your skin color you're getting in. No, I want somebody that has an A on the test, not a C on the test. It blows my mind that people want DEI whenever it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And honestly, working in corporate, you guys know my DEI story. I kind of talked about it last time, but I have a DEI story as being the only person of color, not only on my team, but in my entire department. And I got fired over DEI for complaining about a transgendered, completely sexually explicit display that they had for their pride, their Pride Month, their Pride display. And then I got an email blast talking about drag queens through a work communication. DEI never really benefited Black people to begin with, or brown people to begin with. Like, it really only benefited the LGBTQIX plus MX plus B equals Y people. You know, it didn't even really benefit brown people. Like, it really only benefited trannies and LGBTQIX plus. So I don't even know if I had all the letters in there. It's like, I think it's now it's just LGB.
Probably not.
It's like the whole alphabet. Just the whole alphabet.
I think Trump just made it LGB like recently. I think he just
Is it an executive order? Do we have to say
LGB? But I honestly, like, it should only be LGB, and that should be out of the workplace and out of schools, because we don't need to know about who you're sleeping with, right? Like, that has nothing to do with whether or not you could do the job. I don't need to know. I don't care, like, who is in your bed. I just care if you're competent enough to do the job, and if you have the merit to do the job. And I think DEI needs to be gone because it's racist. It's not even benefiting the people that, like, it's claims it's supposed to benefit. It's just a Trojan horse to usher in sexual degeneracy through LGBTQIX plus that is grifting off of Black racism. And it's just gross. It just needs to be done with altogether.
What was the percentage?
I agree with you.
Merritt, do you know what was the percentage that it said DEI for Black people? Wasn't it like
less than 10%? And this is we'll drop it in the comments, but it's less than 10%. Oh, shout out to Marissa. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate everyone watching. We really appreciate that. My issue with DEI, didn't earn it, is that it creates two things for me. It creates something, Black racism and Black privilege, and also it creates Black inferiority. It makes you feel like you're less than a person. So to talk about the that one, hey, we'll show two videos. We'll start with the Vince Ellison video about white privilege, and then we'll go to Kiki. Kiki, you had a fire video I saw the other day, and I had to share it about privilege. So let's just drop the Vince Ellison, who's a friend of the show. We interviewed him a couple of times. I think he's a great guy. So let's drop that video, and then we'll go right into Kiki's
So the
video
flip
after.
side of white supremacy is Black inferiority. When people say we have to end white supremacy, I say, what? We got to end white supremacy. White supremacy don't exist. How can you end it? Well, that white person thinks he's superior. And?
Exactly.
Right.
Doesn't make it true.
Right.
You think what he want to think.
Right.
So I'm going to pass a law to make him stop thinking that he's superior. No, I think I need to start thinking that I'm superior.
Right.
That I'm good at what I do. Not try to make him feel inferior. Let us compete. We'll see who the best is.
That part.
Exactly. He's always dropping bars and dropping jewels. And that's the truth. Like, there's nothing holding us back as Black people in America. Only thing holding you back is a victimhood mentality that's been permeated by the media and people who try to tell us what our culture is. And Kiki, I love how you broke down this whole Black privilege thing too. Like, before we jump into the next part, can we play Kiki's video? It's pretty entertaining. And you guys do great work, by the way. I gotta say, guys, make sure you follow them all on social
how hard
media.
they try. Okay, maybe they don't actually try that hard, but still, they had a meeting this weekend to vote for the DNC chair. And let's just watch the clip.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a Black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong Black women standing before you. 3 Black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired.
I'm sorry. I just have to say it. Black privilege is alive and well within the Democratic Party. As I always say, let's imagine a white person said that. Listen up, everybody. A strong white person is talking, and you better listen to me. How dare you colored peasants not listen to me as I am speaking on this stage? I don't think it would go over as well. I really hope and pray that the Democratic Party continues down the path they're on Just keep riding that wave, because if so, they are done for.
Right.
America has spoken loud and clear. We are so over the identity politics. Done. Benito, over it.
Yes.
But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
No,
Right.
It's so
Right.
true though. Black privilege is alive and well. Like they it cracked me up. Like I laugh at it because I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't see the irony. If a white person was to do the exact same thing, I say it all the time. If you want to know if it's racist, flip the roles and say, if a white person was to say, I'm a white person standing up here, listen to me now, you black colored people,
Right.
listen to me because I'm a white person speaking. They would lose their mind. That person would lose their seat on whatever position they were in. But it doesn't resonate when it comes to black people because of the black privilege. Black privilege is alive and well.
Yes. And you know, I wish that I added the video of Jasmine Crockett, the congresswoman out of Texas, where I think she was on MSNBC or something like that. Or it might have been CNN. Yeah, and she was like, oh, and these mediocre white males that are mad that black women are out here getting it, or whatever she said. I'm like, yo, if you called any other, if you said these mediocre black women or these mediocre black men, people would be in an uproar. But you think you can say mediocre black or what mediocre white males, and that's okay? Like, that's not okay. Just because they're white doesn't mean that you can just trash them and like verbally abuse them on national, news.
Why is there a double standard?
And that it's okay, like, oh, we can't say anything because they're white, so we're allowed to be racist and like disrespectful. That's awful. It's disgusting. It's racist, and we should reject it as a culture.
Right. It just perpetuates the problem. It keeps everything going. It keeps everything going in a negative way.
By the way, I just saw this in the corner. This is a book called White Trash, and it's about the 400-year untold history of class in America. It's kind of like it's backwards in here, but it's the 400-year story of the untold story of white class in America. And it talks about how a lot of the first settlers that came here that were white, they were not rich. They were, considered like the serf class in England. They came here for a better life. They did not have slaves. A lot of them, the majority of white people that first settled here did not have slaves. Like, they were considered the same class as a lot of the blacks and a lot of the Native Americans. And they were the multitude. It was like the aristocracy that created race to separate and divide the masses so that we can be fighting against each other while they rule. And that's what's going on right now with the Democratic Party. They're trying to introduce the DEI and all these different things, like all these different classes of people depending on race so that we can be fighting against each other while they attack our constitutional rights.
Right. Creating division. Sound familiar? The same thing that was going on then is going on now. Just creating division amongst the people. But the 1%, they got their foot on the people's necks. And that's all people. That's not a race thing. It's a money thing. It's a power thing. It's a greed thing. And the people we have, our God, we have Christ, we have Jesus, we have, our family and our prayers and our principles that are really, in my idea, just this show alone, just being able to talk out against some of the things you see in pop culture, like how we were talking about Kanye and the imagery and things with the wife and how important black fathers are. Like, no, this is what time it is, and it's for the entire nation. This is what the nation voted for. This is where we want to go as a people, not divided people, but as a one unified America. This is where we want to go.
And you're spot on, because if we don't stay unified and we don't work together, this is where we're going to end up. Hey, Darius, can you drop the Cardi B photo? Because this is where they're ultimately headed for us. If you guys look at this video, just check it out.
This photo of Cardi B pregnant on the internet, and someone said something about the background of this photo, and I was like, I don't know, is that actually real? So I went to her Instagram page, as you can see at the top. This is on her page. And if you look at the words behind her, the skinny white lettering, what does that say? P-E-D-O. Fill in the rest. Why would you have this on your Instagram page and a maternity photo, no less? Listen, guys, they tell us in plain sight who they are. The word is literally spelled out right behind her. If you don't believe me, go to her Instagram page, find this photo. You don't have to scroll far. It's pretty close to the top, and check it out. It's in plain sight.
And
Ooh,
guys,
that makes me so mad.
It does, because they show us all this stuff in plain sight. Oh, shout out to Oliver Mack, the right wing angel. Hey guys, if you're not following the right wing angel, you are missing out. He has some of the best content online.
Yeah.
He's a great dude.
Oh, yeah.
And
1000%.
So what's up? Glad that you're watching. Love to have you on a future episode. We'll be in touch.
Yes.
But,
Oh, yeah.
guys,
Great idea.
I already told him 1,000%. I told him it looks like we got to get you on the show.
gotta get him on the show.
Like on
Yeah.
everything going on. 1,000% got to get him on.
So one thing I learned from working in a nonprofit and doing stuff like this, you never leave people after this with sadness. We talked about a lot of positive things, and we talked about a lot of things that are going on with the community, but we came up with some solutions. So guys, if you have any solutions about what stuff we want to talk about, if you want to talk about it more, drop it in the comments. We'll bring it up the next episode. We'll continue to talk about this stuff. But to end up on a fun note, because it is Super Bowl weekend, so we'll ask two questions. The first question is, who do you think will win the Super Bowl? And the second question is, who do you think will be Kendrick Lamar's surprise guest when he performs? Let's start with Demetrius.
All right. Let me see who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. I live too close to Philly to not say Philly.
Yes,
So
that's right.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say the Eagles' offensive line and defensive line are going to get it done against seemingly lackluster. Well, no, they made it to the Super Bowl, so we can't say the Chiefs have been lackluster.
Right.
But
Yes.
it's not the Chiefs of years past. Let's just say that. Right. So I'm thinking that Saquon and the boys are going to pull it out. And let me see. Jared, hit me with the second one again.
Who's going to be the co-star of the Super Bowl?
Oh,
The halftime show?
The surprise guest.
Kendrick Lamar's co-star. Listen, it's so many people that could really make it hot, right? Like Metro Boomin, this, that, and the other. But I truly believe that the guest star is going to be Drake, and it's going to blow everybody's head.
No.
It's going to crack the game. It's going to break the game wide open, and we're going to see exactly how lawsuits work.
Guys, it's Friday. It's Friday the 7th at 10:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Demetrius made that call. So let's call back to her. I see that a little bit too. So Kiki, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, and who do you think is coming out with Kendrick?
So I unfortunately, I'm rooting for the Eagles because I can't stand the Chiefs. I'm just one of those haters that I'm like, you guys are winning too much. You're like the Patriots. I'm rooting for the underdogs. I really want the Eagles to win. I'm sorry, but I feel like the Chiefs are going to win 1,000%. They're the new Patriots. I'm sorry. And as far as like surprise guest hosts, I didn't even know that was like a thing for the Super Bowl. I thought we always know who's going to perform. So this is new to me. So I don't know who could be a surprise guest host. I mean, I guess I'm Hope. And I love country music. I don't listen to hip hop and R&B. So I'm like, can we get some Blake Shelton? Can we get some Morgan Wallen? Like, I love country music. So can we have a surprise host be one of those people?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. So Lala, same question. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, and who's going to be Kendrick Lamar's surprise guest?
Yeah, I just want to echo that from Kiki. Like, I love Morgan Wallen too, girl. So I'm with you as well. But also, I am a very proud New Englander, born and raised in Connecticut, like 30 minutes away from Foxborough. So I love my Patriots. I was a big Tommy and Bill fan. And now that it's a new era, we're rebuilding. So it's sad that we didn't make it this year, but we're rebuilding. And, right now, I live, my man's from Philly. I live in a bird house. I live in a bird nest. So I'm rooting for the birds, baby. I'm rooting for the birds. But I think he's going to bring out SZA, and I think he's going to bring out Lil Wayne as a diss to Drake. because it's in New Orleans or Louisiana. I think he's gonna bring out Lil Wayne as a diss to Drake, like, look, I got your big homie type thing, you know?
I love it. Can we bring up Marissa's comment? Because Marissa got somebody too. So Marissa says, bring out J. Cole, and the Chiefs are going to win, no question. Marissa, I was with you until you said the Chiefs. Man, I hear Fly Eagles fly so much. I'm literally like 45 minutes from Philly. I'm too close in the collateral damage area not to go for Philly. So
right.
I got Philly, and I'm gonna do a swerve. I'm gonna say that he's gonna bring out Maroon 5. Or he's going to bring out Taylor Swift.
Oh, I would not be mad.
I don't, and again, I don't want Taylor Swift on there. I think the last thing I want to do, but they got that Bad Blood remix, and he had that song Maroon 5, and it's the Midwest. You got to think of everybody.
But with the Chiefs playing too, I can see Taylor Swift.
Right.
And again, I would love to see Lil Wayne out there to rap "They Not Like Us" without Drake. Like, and again, if they don't listen, hey, Super Bowl people, Jay-Z, all the people, Rock Nation, whoever's in charge, the whole world is waiting for one song. And if you don't play that song, I guarantee you the entire stadium will do it on its own. So, so kind of just give us what we want. Like, give us what we want. It's going to be fun. And it's just hip hop. It's just hip hop. And with that being said, guys, we're gonna end it today. It's been fun. It's been real. We're gonna do more episodes like this. It's funny, we didn't even get to a lot of stuff we'll get to later on. We got some guests coming up in the wheelhouse too. You'll be surprised about the big name guests we got coming. It's going to be fun. And also, if you want to be on the show, you got a story about being canceled, hit us up. Let us know. And drop some lines. What do they say? Like, follow, subscribe. We got merch. If you want merch. and again, like, guys, please follow everyone on the show. We'll make sure to drop their social media handles so you follow them too. But guys, it's always a blessing to rock with you guys. And from me to you guys to Cancelled Clique, we'll see you guys next week. And I gotta tell you, ain't nobody messing with my clique. So catch you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.